NC pork. Good for the plate, great for the state. Now, you and I have already been to a few practices over at the University of North Carolina. We both worked there. Well, I worked there once. You've worked there twice. And there is no bigger off-season story in college football, perhaps, than Bill Belichick in Chapel Hill. From what you're hearing and what you saw in the limited amount of stuff we got to see, other than catching balls off a jug machine and watching them stretch from 50 yards away, how has that NFL structure that you're aware of, having coached in the NFL as well, including Hall of Famer 2025 class Antonio Gates, what is the vibe around that Carolina program right now as they try to become what they say is the 33rd NFL franchise?
Well, Mike, you were there. We were there together. There's a real buzz in Chapel Hill. There's a real excitement about what Coach Belichick is going to bring to this football team, to this university, the type of product that he's going to put on the field in the opening ball game next week. And I will be highly surprised if it's not a very good football team. Should be extremely well coached. You talk about probably one of the greatest of all time when you talk about Coach Belichick, and I know Coach. I've been around him in my career. He's really enhanced the roster. Mike Lombardi and Coach Belichick have spent a great deal of time in the portal and revamping the roster. From what I could see, Mike, it really looked like a bigger, more physical team than the one we saw last year when I played him at Charlotte. The excitement level is through the roof, man. It's just like, how can you not be excited? You got the Hall of Fame coach and Bill Belichick, and we've got North Carolina football back, and so it's going to be awful exciting, Mike, as you know.
When you talk about these Tar Heels, they didn't get any votes in the preseason top 25. They weren't picked in the top half of the Atlantic Coast Conference. So there are a lot of people that are skeptical that the Tar Heels may be getting the last 2 years of NFL Bill Belichick and not the Tom Brady Bill Belichick. Maybe even, one of the guys that coached in Cleveland once upon a time, or in some of his other stops where it wasn't so rosy. What are the things that you will look for in this week one game next Monday night against TCU that will tell you if this program is in a position to where maybe in time, maybe not immediately, but in time, could be on the right track under this veteran head coach?
The number one thing you look at is how disciplined the football team are they going to be? Are they going to play the game with numerous penalties and sloppiness and that type thing? Or are they going to be a hard-nosed, disciplined football team coming out the gate that's going to play the game the right way? And I'm sure that Bill has spent a great deal of time with his team, on penalties. And there's just so much, Mike, there's so much of the unknown in the opening ball game. You just never know. And particularly, Mike, if I'm not mistaken, is there 70 new players on that football team?
70 out of 105, indeed.
I mean, it's just absolutely mind-blowing that that's where we're at in college football now, that the whole rosters are being flipped and revamped. And so it's an extreme challenge. I was with Deion Sanders at both Jackson State and at the University of Colorado, where he revamped the whole rosters. And it's not easy. It really isn't. And with the NIL stuff and with the egos, with the personalities in the locker room, it's a very, very delicate mesh, Mike. And, it really takes somebody special to really have a great hand on their football team and how they're going to respond. Because, when in this day and time, when you're talking about the different amounts of money that kids are getting, it can be dicey, to say the least.
Michael Berard, Managing Director Investments with the Founders Group at Stifel, works with a select group of high net worth individuals and institutions to develop and implement investment plans tailored to their specific objectives and risk tolerances. If you are interested in highly personalized, well researched guidance and outstanding personal service, you can contact Michael at 984 364 2002. That's 984 364 2002. Stiefel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
You've got a veteran quarterback coming off a devastating injury in Max Johnson, whose dad, Brad, from Swannanoa Owen High School up in Black Mountain, is a former NFL guy. So he's been around that NFL quarterback mindset for a long time. That has to give, you would think, Bill Belichick some confidence, but he's coming off an injury. Then you have a redshirt sophomore in Gio Lopez coming in from South Alabama. They're both left-handed quarterbacks, but who do you go with? I mean, everybody seems to think that it's going to be Gio Lopez. Do you think that this will be something where Belichick, a veteran head coach who likes dependability, who does not like mistakes, who likes sharp mental focus, is he going to stick with a guy? Or if something gets bumpy, does he pull the trigger quick and get somebody else into that lineup?
I've got some really personal experience with the Johnson family. Brad Johnson, one of the all-time great quarterbacks from the state of North Carolina, played at Florida State, a great friend of mine. And I happened to coach 2 years at the University of Florida, and we played against Max Johnson both in Baton Rouge when he was at LSU and in the swamp in Gainesville. And Max Johnson came out victorious against a damn good Florida football team, and so I think there's some people that don't really quite understand exactly what Max brings to the plate. I think Max's skill set is much better than people want to give him credit for. He's a pro-style quarterback, stand in the pocket, deliver, make throws, tremendous courage like his father, toughness off the chart. I have amazing admiration for Max Johnson. Okay. Gio just come in. He, played for Major Applewhite down at South Alabama. Again, an athletic guy, not a big guy. I think Mike listed about 6 foot tall, but again, moves around the pocket and can really extend the play, can do some things. To me today, Mike, you have to be able to. One of the best stats that I look at with quarterbacks is how many first downs they can get on their own with their feet off schedule, not off schedule. And so the protection breaks down and you go get a first down with your feet. Do you have the ability to do that? Both Max and Gio, both. And I think Max's ability to do it is a little bit, there's people are sleeping on his ability in the pocket a little bit to go get first downs with his feet. Gio, again, I don't see that issue at all. I see him, the tape that I've looked at on him. This guy can make some throws. He can get the ball. He can extend the ball down the field. The vertical seams, he will attack them. He can hit the throws at the numbers on it. Very strong-armed kid and has the ability to make plays with his feet. And so I think that North Carolina is really in a pretty darn good position, Mike, where they've got two quarterbacks that have played a fair amount of football. Max Johnson had played in the SEC. Max Johnson is a guy that's proven. He's a guy that has been in the fire, and Gio's a guy that's coming from South Al a little bit. He's going to get a taste of a higher level of football, and I think it'll be good either way. But it'll be very, very interesting to me. Again, there's no substitute for experience, Mike. No substitute for experience. The guy that Max Johnson has been under the fire. He's been in the fire in the toughest conference in college football. Some say, I say that wink, wink, with my buddies in the Big Ten. But, SEC football is real.
Do you pull the trigger on a guy if he starts slow at quarterback and put in another guy? I mean, how much are you managing to win game one as opposed to winning the season?
I think without a doubt, coming out of the opener, Mike, 1-0 is imperative.
Right.
Okay. I mean, Coach Belichick sees nothing else. 1-0 is the only thing that matters. And I think that I don't think it's going to be a real quick hook. I think that Coach is going to let whoever is his guy, let him stay out there, let him get some drives. If he proves that he's not capable or not ready to win with this football team next Monday night, then I think that Coach, I don't think he'll ever shy away from, if he thinks the other guy gives him a better chance to win, then I think he goes with the other guy. I just don't know. It'll be interesting to me to see how quick a hook, Mike, it'll be.
This has been Bold North State Football Daily, an exclusive presentation of the North Carolina Sports Network. Make sure you follow us on social media at the NC Sports Net, and check out our website that is wall-to-wall coverage of North Carolina sports at ncsportsnetwork.com. Our foundational partner is the North Carolina Pork Council, raising the bacon, raising the bar. Telling the stories of the bold North State, this is the North Carolina Sports Network.